everybody, it's me, Alex, once again, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a not controversial at all, really, video today. Now, with the, announcements of possibly Zelda-related stuff going on in September, Nintendo announcing some stuff, maybe more Breath of the Wild 2 news, or maybe, on somewhat of today's topic, is the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD double pack for $60. Okay, that's pretty damn cool, if that happens. So, why does the title say something completely different from what I'm talking about? Zelda fans don't know what they want. The reason is that I've gone through threads for over the years, and this one thread I just went through made me go, you know what, I'm going to actually just kind of get it off my chest and talk about it. Is that when a Zelda game comes out, minus basically from Ocarina of Time onward, it was just such a strange opinion that years later would completely reverse. It's very interesting. So the only game this didn't apply to was Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild. Right? Well, Breath of the Wild is still kind of new. So, I mean, to be fair, maybe in 5 more years or 10 more years, people will look back on it and see what Nintendo has done with that formula. So, and there's already people that hate that formula for ironic reasons. So, let's start with Ocarina of Time. Critically acclaimed. One of the best games ever made. It deserves the title that it gets in terms, or the hype it gets. It may not be the greatest game of all time to you, but it set such a standard for adventure games that going forward, that'd be kind of hard to top for many people, in their opinion. But let's see what happened. Everybody loved it. Nintendo made a sequel to it, Majora's Mask. That one was okay, but for me, some parts of it I do like, but the majority of Majora's Mask I just can't stand. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I appreciate everything that it's going out to do. It's more fun to watch it than it is to play it, because that kind of gameplay style just gets me stressed out, and time management, and just like I can't. It's like, yeah, there's save states in the Switch version, but just leave me alone. So, okay. That was a very split game, Half the people liked it, half the people hated it. And then we had Wind Waker. Okay, now before Wind Waker came out, we saw a tech demo. Not me, because I think, like 6, 7 years old in 2001 I was 6, so, I don't know, somewhere around 2001, 2002, we had a tech demo. I think it was 2001 or so. Tech demo for a Zelda game, what it would look like. Kind of like the one we got for the Wii U in 2013, which was beautiful, by the way. I would love to see a Zelda game that looked like that, but I'm just going to take what I can get right now, because Nintendo does what they want to do. Because after this little tech demo that they did, they announced the Wind Waker. Now, the Wind Waker, when it was first seen, was seen as childish. It's too cartoony, just didn't look good. And I'm like, okay. But I didn't know anything about this game. My freaking grandmother got me this game for my birthday back then. I was like, if Wind Waker came out in 2002, then I was like 7. So 7 or 8, that's when I first played it. And I thought, like, without me seeing all the trailers and all the reception, because I was too young to really understand the internet at that time. Shocking, right? I was just like, like everyone was like, yeah, no, this ain't it, man. This looks terrible. Blah 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 blah. Whatever game comes out, obviously it's reviewed as a very great game, but for years it had that, like, not stigma per se, but that. Well, actually, yeah, it kind of is a stigma of how it looked like a childish game. But by the time, then Nintendo listened, and they made the Twilight Princess. Almost said the Twilight Princess. Why every fucking game is the. So, anyway, They made Twilight Princess in response to the lashback, you know, from the cartoony style. And they were going to make a Wind Waker sequel on GameCube, but because people bitched so much, they had to change their direction. Thanks, guys. People like me who preferred Wind Waker over Twilight Princess really appreciate that one. Anyway, I do like Twilight Princess, don't get me wrong. So, let's go to the game. It was a realistic game, the thing everyone asked for. Everyone loved it. Loved it. Everybody loved it at the time, from what I could tell. You know, that's when everyone was talking in school about Zelda, because, you know, the Wii was the big thing and all that crap. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I loved it. But I always liked Wind Waker a bit more. And, you know, I didn't think much of it. You know, everyone liked it, yada yada. The only thing I didn't really care for was some of the wolf parts, but other than that, pretty solid game. Now we get towards the time Skyward Sword's about being announced, and I'm on the internet a lot more at this point, and I'm seeing a lot of people saying, man, Wind Waker is so much better than Twilight Princess. The art style holds up. It makes the game look better. It looks, I think, graphically superior to Twilight Princess. Because Twilight Princess, at the time, with that kind of hardware, going for a realistic style, was pretty hard to do and make sure it aged well. Nothing really realistically aged any good until possibly the PS4 era. Yeah, there were some things that looked pretty good in the PS3 era, but not everything. So, Wind Waker comes... So everyone's saying that it looks better. Okay. I thought you guys hated Wind Waker for how it looked. Now you love it for how it looks? Okay. Maybe it's just new fans, or maybe these old fans realized that the game's graphics don't matter sometimes. Because, you know, we had Skyward Sword come out, and it was a mixture of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess in terms of that graphical art style, and it looked really muddy. Not gonna lie, on the original Wii, it was all right. You know, I didn't care for it. Oh, actually, I don't even like one. I do not like Skyward Sword one fucking bit, actually. Huh? Can't believe I almost forgot that. Well, anyway, so people, you know, a lot of people didn't like Skyward Sword, and I was like, okay, all right. And then Breath of the Wild comes out, and everybody loves it. You know, damn near 99%, I should say, love it. There's going to obviously the minority that, you know, don't like it because it's not a Zelda game. Okay. Have you guys ever played the original Legend of Zelda? Do you remember how actually, like, wide open it was, and you can go to any dungeon that you wanted to in any order? And you can get almost any item in any order that you wanted? That's where Breath of the Wild is. It's pretty much a recreation of Zelda 1 in modern times. With up-to-date open world stuff, you know? With stupid things like breaking weapons, unfortunately. So I can't do much about that. I wish they didn't even have that to begin with. Or at least say they break. It would take a lot longer to break than like 3 swings. That's my only problem really I have with the game is the weapon degradation. So, okay. So basically, what is the message of it besides what I'm trying to say here? Now that we have the announcement of possibly Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD coming to the Switch, a lot of people, for some reason, are saying these games don't deserve to be ported, or for some reason it's too soon to port these games, you know, blah 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 blah. Okay, I would agree with you, but there's a few things that make this the way it is. Okay, like how why this needs to happen. Okay, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess originally released on the GameCube and then the Wii for Twilight Princess. So, okay, Twilight Princess had 2 releases and Wind Waker had 1. And then in 2013, we had Wind Waker HD, the second release of the game. Cool. And then we had Twilight Princess HD, you know, come out in 2016. That makes it the third, you know, like port or version of the game that exists. Okay, cool. That's not bad, but these two games, the HD ports, came out on a failed console of only a user-based install of around 13 million, including me, in there. So, not many of us, like us few, legitimately got to experience these two HD ports. And many people just probably believe, because they don't have a Wii U, they have a Switch, they're probably one of the extra 90 million that didn't get the Wii U, you know, they probably just think that, oh, these two games are just, you know, straight ports of the originals, you know, blah, blah, blah. These games don't deserve it because of that. And I'm like, okay. How many times has Ocarina of Time been ported? Okay, so we have the original N64 release. Then we had the GameCube release. Now, I think it got re-released in 2 compilations on the GameCube. I could be wrong. So let's just count it as a GameCube for right now, just to be fair. So then we have the Wii Virtual Console, the Wii U Virtual Console, and then the Switch Online Service. Excuse me. Let's see. So let's see. N64, GameCube, Wii U, Switch 5 times. I could have just counted wrong, but who the fuck cares? A lot of times. Majora's Mask as well has been released a decent amount of times as well. Just pretty much the same. Oh, I forgot. Ocarina of Time 3D. They remade the game in 2011. That was really fucking awesome. No big deal, you know, that's not too soon. You know, whatever. You know, So, okay. You have no problem with that game coming out too many times. Maybe you do, but you should carry the energy for those games as well. But these two games here, again, the two HD games, they deserve a second chance on the Switch because of how much of a failure the Wii U was. No matter how big of a Nintendo fan you are, you have to accept that fact. If you can't, then leave reality, please. So, with that, the games deserve a second chance on the Switch. They would sell tens of millions. Like, I could see it selling first. Like, they would sell like fucking hotcakes. Nintendo's just probably waiting for the right time to release these. They've probably been done for a while. It's just Nintendo's holding it. Likes to do this weird thing where they shadow drop a bunch of games, and it's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, okay, all right, I'll take it. So yeah. What do you think? Do these games deserve to be ported to the Switch and given a second chance and all that stuff? And oh yeah, again, these games have quality of life updates. You know, Wind Waker had just some mechanic changes, so you could like move while you're swinging on the grapple hook. You have the fast, the fast sail, so you could basically go full speed in any direction you wanted without having to stop and then change the frickin' wind direction every damn time you wanted to go full speed. And there was the Miiverse aspect, which unfortunately doesn't work anymore. And that was kind of okay, but they got rid of the Tingle Bottle thing. I was not happy about that. So there was probably some other things I missed there, but on Twilight Princess, the major thing was the Wolf Link amiibo. You just take that and you could enter a dungeon, and you would just, it's like a gauntlet dungeon. So you just go through all the floors, and then you get, I think, like the biggest rupee bag you can get. I don't remember exactly. I never actually finished that part. So, yeah, these and just other little knickknacks and good stuff like that they changed in Twilight Princess HD that just make it a smoother experience. Both of these games are smoother experiences than their original versions. So why not bring these enhanced versions to the fucking Switch? It makes sense. They'd make money. And everyone would say, what about Xenoblade X? I'm saying the same thing too, but I'm just speaking the truth. Anyway, my name is Alex. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'll be seeing you next time. Farewell.